So the first card you have, your past, is the Empress. And this is a really, really beautiful card, very relaxed. Look at how relaxed she is. It's about taking care. So I think you were taking care of yourself. I think you were nurturing yourself. You're making an effort to do that. And I think you felt as if you had to do that. It was like, oh, I have to make sure I take care of myself. I think something happened, or you heard something. I think you heard something and it made you think, oh, I have to stop, I have to stop. I've got this running around, and then a stop. Because you're always working, you're always very busy. I see that in all your readings all the time. And then you had to come to a stop. Something made you stop. It looks like something you heard. I don't know if this is not going to be for everyone. This is for someone. Someone needs to hear this. So someone needs to hear this. Some news came in for someone. Some news came in. It feels very, very sad. It feels very heavy. It feels like very, very difficult news. Difficult news to comprehend. Difficult to process. That's what I'm getting. Very sad news about a person. It feels like this is someone you had a lot of problems with once. It feels like you had a lot of very serious problems with this person. You really cared for this person. I'm getting care here because this is the Empress. You really cared for this person at one time. A long, long time ago or a while ago, not recently. And gosh, I feel horrible saying this, but I don't think they deserved that care that you gave them. And I think you moved on from this person, or you stopped being around this person because they treated you very badly. And so you haven't seen this person for a long, long time, if this is you. And then this news came in about them. I'm seeing some very, very sad news that came in. I think something happened to this person. And that's when you stopped, and that's when you felt like you had to take care of yourself, because it was like, this is really, really affecting me. This is really affecting me. I didn't think it would. I didn't think this would affect me so badly, hearing this news. Yeah, your reaction surprised you because they really hurt you. They really, really hurt you. And you thought you actually thought they were a blank to you. You actually thought, no, I don't have any more feelings for this person. I've let them go. They really hurt me. And now you're hearing this news and it actually really got to you. I think you might have some link to them. I'm seeing some kind of family link to this person. So it might be a number of different things. It might be that they're a family member that you haven't spoken to for a long time. It might be that they're an ex and you have family with them, you have a child with them, or it might be that you're linked by family in some way, because I'm seeing some kind of family link between you, if this is you, and this person who something's happened to. So yeah, you were taking care of yourself because you knew you had to do this, especially after hearing this news. You know, things didn't stop. You still had to do your work and did everything else. But I think you took care of yourself. You were like, oh no, I have to take care of myself. I'm really, really, really feeling this. That's how you're feeling. I'm really feeling this very heavily. I'm not taking this news very well. I thought it would be okay. I didn't think I'd have this reaction. That's what I'm getting. And I think you might have been taking care of someone else as well, who was linked to this person. That might be the case as well. And so you're taking care of yourself, probably someone else as well, and really just processing this news. That's what I'm seeing in that card. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so the next card you have for your past is, yes, the Nine of Swords. You see, this is grief. This is sadness. This is hearing this sad news that came in. You see, I'm seeing that as well. And that's why you had to take care of yourself. I'm just seeing you in your home, actually. You're in your home, not really feeling like going out anywhere, taking care of yourself, or trying to. Also protecting yourself, yes, protecting yourself from memories, Protecting yourself from memories. That's what I'm getting really strongly. Okay, protecting yourself from memories. Because you got this sad news, and that was very sad. That was very surprising to you. But I think what was worse for you was that when you heard this news, it opened up all these memories of this person. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so I don't have to say this, but I have to say this because I'm seeing this as a possibility. It might actually be a death. It's either that or it's something quite serious about this person. Now, getting news of a death, if you get news of a death or some other kind of horrible thing about someone like that that's quite serious, when you've got a bad history with someone, when someone's really, really hurt you and they've done something horrible to you or something like that, the grieving process or the process of getting over something like this, it can actually be really, really complicated because you can have all the grief, like this poor woman on this card. You can have all the grief, the normal grief that everyone else has. And then you have on top of that, you have anger. You have lots and lots of mixed feelings, because I think this person gave you lots of mixed feelings because you were supposed to love them. You were supposed to love them at one time, and you kind of did, but you hated them at the same time. Very complicated. This is very, very complicated, I have to say. So I think now on hearing this, if this is you, there's this anger, sadness, and I think there's even some guilt in there. Guilt about the anger, guilt about not being able to love them, maybe. If this is you, if this is something very, very bad that this person did to you, if it's really getting to you, if it's kind of unlocking this big box of horrible memories, if it's something quite serious, go and see a counsellor, go and see someone like that if it's very serious. But yeah, I think you're already taking care of yourself because you've got the Empress here. Just do whatever you can to get through this, whatever you can. And don't feel obliged to act a certain way or speak in a certain way. If this was a death, again, it might not be or it might be. If it was, a lot of people, even if they don't like a person, they say all kinds of things about how wonderful they were, and that's absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Everyone has their own way of getting through things, and no one should really disrespect someone who's passed on or who's had something horrible happen to them, of course. But if you're just there and this person really hurt you, and you're around all these people saying, oh, they were such an amazing person, they were wonderful, they were this, they were that, that might hurt you even more. That doesn't mean you're going around saying, oh, no, that's not true, they're horrible. But just hearing all that and just sitting there quietly hearing all these things might make you feel worse. So if you need to keep away from all of that, if that's resonating with you, if you want to be by yourself to preserve your own peace of mind, do that. Do what you need to do. I think that's a big, big message here. Lots of emotions, very difficult emotions, very, very mixed emotions I'm getting all through this so far. And there's no right or wrong way to deal with those emotions. Just remember that. Okay, so the last card you have passed is the King of Cups. Yeah, so I keep on seeing this situation. It's everywhere. So this is for someone who needs to hear this. You might be feeling quite alone, actually. Especially if you've got people who are saying all these things around you, or if you've got people who are very, very emotional and you're not feeling the same way that they are. You might have people going, oh, I'm so this, I really miss them. And you kind of don't feel like that. You don't know how you feel, really. You've got all these different competing emotions. That's what I'm getting here. So, the thing here is, I think you look as if you deal with emotions in different ways to a lot of other people around you. That's how you appear. The thing is, you're a very emotional person, very emotional, but it doesn't always come across that way. Sometimes people see you as this kind of stoic, oh, just get on with it kind of a person. And you do get on with it. You're strong in that way. But that doesn't mean you're not emotional. You're very, very emotional. And what you feel on the inside doesn't always reflect how you appear to be on the outside. And yeah, it can alienate you sometimes, I think, because you just seem to be quite different in the way you react to things. And I think it's especially, it even has more layers on top of this with this particular situation, if that's you, because you've got all these mixed feelings around this person. So it's even more difficult. Lots and lots and lots of layers of all these very, very mixed emotions. If you look at this king, he's just sitting here and he doesn't have any expression on his face. We can't see any expression, but he's surrounded by all this water. He's surrounded by all these emotions. And, sometimes this card can be about drinking, over drinking. It can be sometimes. I'm not saying that's what you do, but you do bury yourself in things when you're emotional sometimes, or stressed, work, projects, things like that. That can be, I won't say an addiction, but that can be something that you use to, make yourself feel better sometimes. So just be aware of that. You might fall into that pattern again. I just need to tell you this. You're going to get through this. If this is you, you are going to get through this. You're a strong person at your core. You really are. And just remember, obviously I don't want you to sit around dwelling on how they hurt you, but you don't have to forget how they hurt you either. You don't have to pretend everything is fine. Obviously, when you've got people who are upset around you, you're not going to go out and say, oh, they were horrible. You're not going to do it. I know you're not going to anyway. But this is about the inside of you. Don't ever think, oh, now that this horrible thing's happened to this person, or they died, or whatever it is, I have to forget what they did to me. I have to be all nice and happy. No, or not nice and happy. What I mean by that is, I have to be all missing them and pretending they're a great person. No, you don't have to do that. You can just be completely neutral. If you've got people who say, oh, isn't it so sad? You can just, pat them on the shoulder and say, yeah, it's whatever, and deal with that and feel for them. But you don't have to act. You don't have to act. And the way that you feel, this is really important to know, the way that you feel is the way you feel, and that's correct. Because it's correct for you. Just because other people are different doesn't mean you have to act or feel in the way that they feel. So keep on taking care of yourself, follow your instincts, do things in your way. So if this is for you, just remember all those things. Excuse me. Sorry, I've got a really sore throat. So the first card you have for your present is the Seven of Wands. Okay, so again, same situation again. You might want to take a break from social media for a while, because you're going to see a lot of things on there as well. Because this card's obviously about being attacked or feeling attacked. And I don't think anyone's trying to attack you. Literally, I don't think anyone's coming after you. But this might be how you feel, because I'm seeing other people's perceptions, people's memories, excuse me, I'm swallowing because my sore throat, all that kind of thing. People's perceptions are very different to yours. And so, yeah, I'm seeing all these posts on social media, probably saying how fantastic they were, probably saying all kinds of different things. It might be so severe that maybe even seeing this person's name might be a problem for you, might trigger you if it is that bad. Because sometimes, especially in families, and there's a lot of family around this, when there's a problem in a family, one sibling might say, oh, we were brought up really, really well. Everything was fine and I was happy and everything was fantastic. And another sibling might have the opposite experience. They might say, well, it was horrible. I had a horrible time. But that doesn't mean that one's right and one's wrong. It can be that someone is lying. That can happen. But it also can be about just people perceiving things in different ways. So, and if you have two people like that, they could argue all day and they're not going to agree. So let other people have their experience. You have yours. And if people don't respect your experiences, they're not the right people to have around you. So you can just say, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. You do you and I'll do me. It might have to come to that. But yeah, all these posts on social media, everything like that, messages, I'm seeing all that kind of thing. I think they're different from your memory, very, very different from your experience, if this is you. So again, to take care of yourself, turn off the social media if you have to. You know, I just think hearing about this over and over again, it's not helping you. It's not helping you. So, and again, remember how strong you are. And also remember that you don't have to be strong either. You can rest, you can ask for help if you need to. There's strength in asking for help. So remember that as well. If you need help, you can ask. You don't have to battle things by yourself like this man. So that's the message in that card. So the next card you have your present is the Knight of Wands. Okay, so I'm going to try not to talk about this anymore because it's been the same situation all the way through, and I don't want this whole reading to be about this one situation. But things do come up over and over again, and when I see really specific things like this, the reason why I say them, and I see them in every card, it's because that's the strongest message I'm getting, seeing, hearing. Did I bump the table? I hope I didn't, but maybe I bumped that whole thing, but I think it's okay. So yeah, that's because that's the loudest thing. It's like the loudest thing, the squeakiest wheel gets the oil. The loudest thing I hear and see is what I come out with. So, and the loudest thing, sometimes I'm getting lots and lots of things, I'm seeing things, I'm hearing lots of things, but the loudest thing kind of drowns out everything else. And if something's really, really drowning out everything else, it's because it's the important thing for me to say. It means that someone needs to hear that message. So that's why you might see the same kind of scenario in lots and lots of different cards, because someone needs to hear that message. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is, again, it might look to a lot of people as if you're like the King of Cups, say, not much emotion, but on the inside, I think you're a lot more like this Knight of Wands, up and down emotions, all that kind of thing. Just know that it's going to calm down eventually for you, and let it happen in your own way. Don't let anyone tell you how you should feel, how you should grieve, how you should whatever. Do it in your way. I think that's the big theme of this whole reading as well. Do things in your way, feel how you feel, and that is valid. How you feel is valid. Okay, so there's something else here. I'm seeing work here. It really feels like something was dragging on in your workplace, really, really dragging on. I'm just getting this big feeling of, oh, I'm waiting and I'm waiting, and oh, when is this going to be finished, and oh, when's it going to be resolved? I just want this to be resolved. It's been going on for so long. I want this to be neatly finished. It looks like a great big mess with this Knight of Wands. He's kind of jumping up and down. He looks a bit disheveled. So whatever this is all kind of a big mess, and you want it to be neat. You want it to be finished. Lots of frustration. Okay, this is what I'm seeing around this. Someone's going to step in. Someone else is going to step in. I think it's going to be resolved quite quickly, actually, really quickly. Yeah, you'll see this result come in, I think, probably over the next few weeks. It's going to resolve itself. Well, no, not itself, because I think someone's going to come in and fix this. Lots and lots of changes happening around your workplace, or they're about to happen. Yeah, I'm seeing lots of changes, people moving around, and you'll feel a lot better, I think, with all these changes. I'm seeing checks or checking. So someone's really, really disorganized, very disorganized, and that's who you're waiting on. And I think they're going to be checked, or their work's going to be checked, or something like that. Check places, checkpoints, something like that, some kind of system. And they're not going to be able to get away with this. So I think that's going to make you feel a lot better. It's going to be a lot more efficient. It just feels really neat, if that makes sense. Neater, more efficient. So I think you'll be a lot happier when all these changes are made. But before it gets neat, it's going to be messy. like on this card. So you're going to have a lot of kind of mess, a lot of adjustment, a period like that, and then it's going to be neat at the end. Yeah. Okay, so the last card you have for your present is Judgment. Okay, this keeps on coming up again and again. I can't help it, I'm seeing it again, so I have to talk about this. And I know this isn't for everyone, but it's here, so I have to say if it's here, then it might actually be death. I'm seeing that once again. Now, I've seen it in so many places. It might be that, or it might be a very difficult illness that's very serious, so close to that. This card can be about transitioning. So if I see it, I have to say it. I can't avoid it. Now I'm seeing some kind of family gathering here as well, some kind of family event, I should say. And it looks like you're invited, or you know that you're going to have to go to this thing, or you're invited to whatever this is. I think it's linked to this person who you got this bad news about. Again, it might be a death, so this may be a funeral. It doesn't have to be, but it might be. And I have to say that if that's what I see. So if this resonates, if you do go to this thing, this event, or whatever this is, I don't think you've got all these people against you, I should say. I'm saying event. But I don't think you have all these people against you, but you might feel like that. I'm not seeing arguments. I'm not seeing anything like that around the family. But there's a lot of stress around you. And I think it's down to all these very difficult, very mixed feelings. You've got mixed feelings around family. You've got mixed feelings around this news that you've got. You've got mixed feelings around people saying things. You've got mixed feelings. Very, 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 very difficult, very emotional, and very, very complicated. Very complicated, really hard for me to describe. But if this is you, you'll know what this is about. I'm getting a lot of emotional warnings here around this event, this family thing. And this is all about protecting your emotions, maybe even your mental health if this is severe. So if you feel that you're not able to go to this, you don't have to go. If you feel that it's okay, then go. But just know that you don't have to. The message here is don't push yourself. It's all over this reading. Don't push yourself into things that are going to harm you. And how you feel is valid. So I've got that again in that card. I have to say, I get these really complex emotional readings for Capricorn quite a lot, actually. A lot of people really misunderstand Capricorn, and I'm seeing a bit of that in the King of Cups. People see you as this kind of coper, this sort of unemotional, stoic person. But you're a very emotional person, very emotional. And I always see layers and layers of emotions in your readings. And this is definitely one of those readings. So I see that quite a lot. I know you're very emotional. A lot of people don't see that. But with that being said, the message here is, once again, do what suits you. If you feel like this event's going to be fine, go. If you feel like it's going to tip you over the edge emotionally, obviously don't go. You don't have to go. Listen to yourself, listen to your emotions, let your emotions and your feelings guide you. That's what I'm seeing in that card. Okay, so the first card you have for your future is the Page of Wands. Now, automatically, I've got to tell you, with all these cards in your future, it automatically feels a lot lighter, a lot better. It feels a lot freer. So I have to say that right away. The big feeling I'm getting around all these cards is freedom, being alone, getting away, moving on. That's what I'm seeing in all those cards. The big one is being by yourself. That's a big thing I'm seeing here. All these people in these future cards are all by themselves. So yeah, you're going to start to make an effort, I think. You're going to really start to make an effort to, I think after this event's happened, after you've gotten through all of that, whether you're going or not, you're going to start making an effort to remove all these kind of negative energies out of your life. You've got all these old memories hanging around you. You've got that. You've got family issues, emotional family issues, people that don't understand you, people that try and tell you how to think, what to say, how to behave. Because I was getting this feeling of having to tell you over and over again that your feelings are valid. So if I have to tell you that, that means that you're around someone or some people that don't see your feelings as valid. So that might be why I had to keep on saying that. But just know that. So yeah, you're getting rid of all these things. That's what I'm seeing. You've had all these draining people around you and you're taking care of yourself, but I don't think you're actively removing yourself from these draining people. So I think that's what you're going to start to do now. It feels like cleansing to me, clearing out all the old energies, anything that weighs you down, you're going to drain. All these people who are draining you, you know, they don't see you as someone who feels things deeply. And you do feel things deeply, but they don't see you as that. It's all over this reading. It's all over this reading. These people who don't understand you, or they don't want to understand you. They're the types of people who drain you. You don't want them around you. And I think what's going to happen is you're going to start to drain them. You're going to drain them out of your life. That doesn't mean you're going to go around blocking everyone. You might do that. But your boundaries are going to be super high, really, really high. So, okay, so I'm going to talk about all these cards together. So, firstly, with the King of Swords, the second card here. Obviously, this is you. This is you putting up your boundaries, saying no. And the question you're going to be asking yourself when you're doing this cleansing of people, when it comes to people, you're going to ask, does this person want to know me? Do they truly want to know me? Do they truly want to understand me inside and out? Is this kind of person who just talks about themselves all day long and they never ask me about me? Do they drain me? Do they sit there asking me to help them all the time? And when I want help, where are they? Are they that kind of person? Do they truly want to understand me? If the answer is yes, they're staying in. If the answer is no, they're out. I know that sounds horrible, but it's that simple. It really is. It really is that simple. And when you've done all this and you feel clear again, when you feel yourself again, because you'll only have people around you who let you be yourself, then you'll start to grow. You'll start to grow. You'll be able to do so much more. I'm seeing all this growth in lots and lots of different areas of your life because you're not being drained anymore. There are butterflies, birds all over this King of Swords. That represents freedom. The Page of Wands is looking up to the top of this wand. There's leaves there. That's all about growth. With this Temperance card, look at the way these beautiful angels rising up out of the water. So all these cards represent you. All these cards represent you rising up. So it feels like you're going to have a clean slate actually when you've drained all these people away. That's what this cleansing is going to give you, a clean slate, and you're going to be able to write whatever you want on that clean slate. The emphasis being on you, what you want on the slate, not what other people want, not what people tell you should think or feel or whatever, what you want. So this is really fantastic. I'm really glad it's ended like this. And I just want to say again, I know this reading was a bit abstract. There were lots and lots of different layers of emotion. I did struggle to express some of them, I know that. So my apologies for that. It was very deep, very, very complex. And so just being honest, I really did. But I really hope this does help someone. I really, really do. Because someone really needs to hear these messages.